Okay, let's dive right into this incredible cinematic explainer of the Heart of Solara, Guardian of the Last Light. We're talking about a story full of desperate hope, staggering odds, and what actually happens when the literal sun just disappears from the sky. We are going to unpack the rich lore, the intense character arcs, and the massive cosmic stakes of this fantastic narrative.
No one knew where the sun had gone. I mean, just pause and really think about that for a second. Imagine waking up every single day to twilight or just complete darkness for 17 agonizing years. You're living in a world where a warm, golden morning is nothing more than a fairy tale you tell kids before bed. That is the grim, everyday reality for the people of Elaris.
So let's look at A World in Darkness and the mystery of the Great Dimming. To really understand what our hero is up against, we have to look at how things got so bad. The crucial point here is that this wasn't just some weird weather system. Right at the center of the kingdom stood the Tower of Dawn, which housed this celestial crystal called the Heart of Solara. It basically kept light alive across the entire land. But 17 years ago, during a massive catastrophe known as the Great Dimming, it just vanished. The literal source of life and light for the whole kingdom was erased without a single trace, leaving behind nothing but a thick blanket of black clouds.
Which brings us to the call to adventure, the map and the mark.
Now, what's so fascinating here is how the destiny of a whole world just drops right into the lap of a simple 19-year-old scrap metal worker named Arin. He's this orphan living a super lonely, predictable life way out on the edge of the kingdom. But all of that is completely shattered one stormy night. This old, scarred traveler named Cedric shows up in a soaked black cloak, carrying an ancient map and dropping a terrifying bombshell. Arin is the very last descendant of the Guardians of Solara. And to prove it, Cedric hands him a golden pendant that perfectly matches a birthmark right on Arin's wrist. The mission is officially a go, and only Arin can find the missing heart. But we're not talking about a casual stroll here. This is a brutal, perilous journey. Arin has to leave his cabin and head straight into the Forbidden Mountains. We're talking peaks that look like giant black teeth tearing into the sky, with screaming snowstorms whipping through the valleys. He has to survive all of that just to reach a lost city beneath the ice and ultimately track down the Temple of Solara. Luckily, he doesn't have to do it completely alone. Out on this nightmare path near an abandoned temple, Arin literally crosses swords with Lyra. She's this fierce, silver-haired warrior wielding twin curved blades. After a super tense, kinda awkward standoff, she just looks at him and drops this great line: "You're terrible at introductions." Lyra brings some much-needed humanity, a little humor, and real companionship to his lonely quest, and they pretty quickly form this unlikely but unbreakable bond.
All right, moving on to Truth Beneath the Ice, the Sleeping Dragon.
So, weeks into this freezing nightmare of a journey, they make a discovery that changes absolutely everything. Buried deep, deep beneath a glacier, they stumble into an impossibly ancient crystal city. While they're exploring these glowing blue ruins, Arin realizes he can actually read the ancient language carved into the walls, and he uncovers this chilling truth. The heart was never stolen, it was hidden to protect the world. I mean, wow, the entire narrative just flips on its head. The Great Dimming wasn't a heist or some tragic accident, it was a desperate, intentional act of preservation.
And before they can even fully process that massive plot twist, the ground starts shaking. Ice completely shatters and an enormous eye opens up right beneath them. They are literally face to face with Vael, an ancient white dragon. Lyra draws her swords, totally ready to fight, but Vael just lowers his massive head, looks at Arin with these piercing golden eyes, and simply says, "Guardian." Vael has literally been sleeping for centuries, guarding this exact secret.
This revelation really hits home the terrifying cosmic stakes of the story. On one side, you've got the Heart of Solara. It turns out it's not just a giant light bulb, it is the ultimate prison for dark forces. On the other side, you've got the Void King, this ancient apocalyptic entity of endless darkness that literally feeds on stars and consumes entire worlds. The past Guardians doomed their own world to 17 years of darkness just to keep the heart hidden from this monster. Because if the Void King finds it, that's it, everything ends.
This perfectly sets up the final battle and Shadows Rising.
Because hiding? That is no longer an option. The monster is waking up, almost as if summoned by Arin learning the truth. The Void King's servants start flooding Elaris. Things escalate insanely fast. Within days, entire villages vanish overnight. Within weeks, the rivers run completely black, and these giant shadows start prowling through the clouds. It all builds to a massive confrontation at a ruined fortress, where Malakar, the Void King's armored champion, demands they hand over Arin. When Arin refuses, an all-out war at Blackfire Keep erupts. It's just absolute mayhem. Fire illuminating the night, steel clashing against shadow.
And right in the middle of this chaos, with Lyra fighting like an absolute hurricane and Vael unleashing literal flames, Arin finally stops running from his destiny. His golden pendant starts glowing, and the memories of thousands of past guardians just flood into his mind. He unlocks his ancient powers and strikes down Malakar in this brutal, epic clash of light against darkness. But victory comes with a seriously grim warning. As Malakar dies, he laughs this terrible, chilling laugh and tells them they are too late. Which leads us directly to the ultimate sacrifice and the return of the last light. We've reached the absolute climax here. Following their map to a hidden island way out beyond the Sea of Mist, our heroes finally locate the Temple of Solara, and inside is the heart. It's this human-sized crystal radiating pure, unadulterated sunlight. The warmth of it actually brings tears to Lyra's eyes. But that incredible joy of seeing sunlight for the first time in almost 2 decades is instantly crushed. Reality literally tears open, and the Void King himself descends upon them. He is this towering, horrifying entity made of living shadows and dying stars, twisting reality around him with just sheer fear.
Facing down an entity that has devoured actual galaxies, Arin realizes the brutal truth hiding inside those ancient memories he absorbed. The heart needs a living soul to merge with it in order to stop the Void King. Arin looks at Lyra, and she instantly realizes what he has to do. She begs him, there must be another way. But Arin knows the truth. It's the ultimate impossible choice. What do you do when there is literally no other way?
In honestly one of the most heartbreaking, poignant moments of the entire story, Arin smiles sadly at his friend and accepts his fate. He willingly sacrifices his future, his life, and the friends he loves to save the world, looking at Lyra and simply saying, "Take care of the sunrise."
The sequence that follows is jaw-dropping. First, Arin touches the heart and instantly merges with it, his physical body transforming into pure sunlight, burning brighter than 1,000 stars. Then, this unbelievable explosion of light violently shatters those black clouds that have choked the world for nearly 20 years, completely and permanently consuming the Void King. And finally, the sun returns. Golden rays sweep across the mountains, the oceans, the cities. Flowers bloom. People step out of their homes. Life is totally restored to Elaris. Fast forward a bit to our epilogue. Years have passed now, and Elaris is flourishing. The darkness is nothing more than a distant memory. On a hill overlooking the kingdom stands Lyra. She's older, she's wiser, but she still makes sure to visit this exact spot every single year at dawn. As the very first ray of sunlight touches her face, she hears Arin's gentle voice in the warm breeze, telling her the sunrise looks beautiful today. The legacy of that lonely young orphan who saved the world absolutely lives on. And Lyra finds genuine peace knowing the last guardian is still up there watching over every single beautiful dawn.
What an absolutely phenomenal narrative. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this final, powerful question to think about. What would you sacrifice for a world you've never truly seen? Arin gave up his own existence for a sunlit world he only ever knew from children's fairy tales. It's such a profound thought about hope, duty, and the extraordinary courage it takes to step out of the dark. Thanks for exploring this amazing journey with me, and I highly encourage you to keep diving into stories that challenge us to find our own light.